Talking about? What are you talking about? Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Let go.
Wait, what? Kirk really tried to take Mendeecees out while he was on the road? This isn't just another messy reality TV fight. This is on another level. We're talking about something way more serious, something that could have ended in tragedy. The streets are buzzing, and sources are spilling all kinds of shocking details. Apparently, Kirk Frost set up a plan to take Mendeecees out during what was supposed to be a normal drive. But guess what? Mendeecees survived, and now the truth is coming out piece by piece. The big question is, why would Kirk even do this? What could Mendeecees have done to push him to such an extreme? And more importantly, who leaked this shocking information? Was it someone close to them? A friend who turned into an enemy? Or could it be that Mendeecees himself is trying to get ahead of the story before it gets even bigger? One thing is clear, this isn't just gossip. This is looking like a full-blown setup, and we have all the details. There's betrayal, backstabbing, and some seriously dangerous moves being made behind the scenes. If you thought this was just another reality TV scandal, think again. This is way deeper. So let's break it down. Mendeecees was driving down a quiet road thinking it was just another regular night. He had no idea that danger was waiting for him. He was just trying to clear his head, minding his own business. But someone else had a completely different plan for how that drive was supposed to end. And that someone? Kirk. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Kirk who's been throwing shade at Mendeecees for a while now. The same Kirk who's been working behind the scenes to take him down. And now it looks like things just got real. The streets are talking, and the story keeps getting wilder by the minute. Sources say Kirk had been planning something shady for weeks. There were arguments, threats, and a lot of tension leading up to this moment. Apparently, Kirk wasn't just talking, he was serious. People close to the situation claim he was saying things like, Mendeecees has to be handled, and that he wasn't going to just let things slide. Normally, when people are mad, they say all kinds of things. But now that something actually happened, it's starting to look like he meant every single word. And let's talk about the timing, because it's way too suspicious. Just days before the incident, Kirk and Mendeecees had a huge argument. Not just a small disagreement, this was big. The kind of argument that makes people say, if I see you in the streets, it's up. They were already at each other's throats because of past drama, and things just kept escalating. Now, Kirk isn't exactly known for letting things go. He holds grudges, and he's been caught doing shady things before. This isn't the first time he's had beef with Mendeecees, and it's definitely not the first time people have accused him of playing dirty. Just last year, there were rumors that Kirk was trying to take Mendeecees down in other ways, messing with his reputation, interfering with his business. But now it looks like things have gone way past just words. People are saying Kirk had people watching Mendeecees, keeping track of his every move. The whispers on the street are that this whole situation was planned, down to the last detail. Some even believe Kirk knew exactly where Mendeecees would be driving that night, and that this so-called accident was actually a failed attempt at something way darker. Think about it. Mendeecees is driving, minding his own business, and out. Of nowhere, something unexpected happens. The timing, the threats, their history, it's all too much to be a coincidence. And the real question is, was it just a warning? Or was Kirk really trying to take him out? And let's not forget what happened afterward, because that's just as shady. Kirk has been completely silent since this incident. No statements, no explanations, nothing. Now, we all know Kirk loves to talk, especially when drama is involved. So why is he suddenly quiet? Is he trying to avoid attention, hoping the story fades away before people put the pieces together? Because let's be real, if you were accused of something like this, wouldn't you be shouting from the rooftops about your innocence? Meanwhile, Mendeecees hasn't been saying much either, but people close to him are saying he's convinced this was a setup. He allegedly told his team, I know what's going on. This wasn't just some random accident. And if that's what he believes, you best believe he's going to be looking for answers. Because if someone really tried to take him out, he's not about to just let it go. And here's another twist, there were witnesses. Oh yeah, people saw what happened that night, and from what they're saying, it wasn't just bad luck. There was another car involved, one that had been following Mendeecees for a while before things went south. And get this, the driver of that car disappeared before the police even showed up. Now, why would someone leave the scene like that unless they had something to hide? And here's where things get even crazier. Some people are saying Kirk wasn't just behind the setup, he was actually there. A source who was near the scene claims they saw a car parked on the side of the road right before everything went down. And guess what? That car looked a whole lot like Kirk's. Now let's break this down. If Kirk was really there that night watching everything unfold, that means this wasn't just some heat-of-the-moment decision. This was planned. Someone wanted Mendeecees off that road, and they wanted it to look like an accident. And let's not act like Kirk hasn't been moving shady for a long time. This is the same guy who's been accused of backdoor business deals, the same guy who always seems to be at the center of drama. But this is different. This is dangerous. And while Kirk is out here staying silent, Mendeecees is making moves. Sources say he's talking to big names, trying to figure out exactly what happened that night. And if he finds out Kirk was behind it? Oh, it's going to be a problem. But here's the craziest part. There are already whispers that Mendeecees is planning his own revenge. Yeah, you heard that right. If someone really tried to take him out, he's not about to just sit back and do nothing. The streets are talking, and if what they're saying is true, things are about to get real messy. Kirk really thought he was going to pull a fast one and just walk away like nothing happened. But he might want to think again, because if Mendeecees gets proof, oh, it's about to get real messy. The streets are already on edge, waiting to see what happens next. Will Mendeecees come out swinging? Will Kirk finally speak up? Or is this just the beginning of something way bigger than any of us expected? One thing is for sure, this is far from over. Right now, the tension is thick, the stakes are high, and everyone is watching closely. If you thought things were already out of control, just wait until you hear what's coming next. Let's make one thing clear. Mendeecees is not the type to take an attack like this lightly. If Kirk thought he could pull a slick move, shake Mendeecees up, and then disappear like nothing happened, he clearly forgot who he was messing with. Because trust me, Mendeecees is already making moves behind the scenes. And if the rumors are even halfway true, Kirk might have just made the biggest mistake of his life. Word on the street is that Mendeecees isn't just sitting around. He's making serious calls, not just to his usual crew, but to people with real power. We're talking industry insiders, legal experts, and maybe even some connections that operate outside the law. If Mendeecees truly believes Kirk tried to take him out, there's no way he's letting this slide. And this is where things start getting even messier. While Mendeecees is busy putting his pieces in place, Kirk is out here scrambling, trying to do damage control. At first, he stayed quiet, acting like he had nothing to do with anything. But now that people are starting to connect the dots, he's trying a different approach, acting like everybody is overreacting. He's out here saying, "Y'all are reaching," trying to play it off like it's all just a crazy coincidence. But here's the problem. Kirk's got receipts working against him. Just as people started questioning him, some messages got leaked. And if these messages are real, they tell a very different story. Screenshots allegedly show Kirk talking to someone just days before the incident, saying things like, "That dude thinks he's untouchable. He got too comfortable." And another one? "Bet money he won't see this coming." Now, I don't know about y'all, but that sure sounds like somebody plotting. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Kirk has been caught saying shady stuff. This man has a history of throwing rocks and hiding his hands. But this time, the details are a little too specific to brush off as random talk. And guess what? Mendeecees' team is not playing around. Sources close to him say he's about to launch his own investigation. That's right, he's putting his people to work, pulling phone records, checking surveillance footage, doing everything possible to figure out who was involved and how deep this goes. Now let's talk about who else might be in on this. Because, trust me, there's talk that Kirk wasn't working alone. There are whispers that other people had a hand in this, and the names being thrown around, let's just say they're shocking. Some sources believe Kirk got outside help, maybe even from someone inside Mendeecees' own circle. Just imagine that. Thinking you're safe, thinking the people around you have your back, only to find out one of them might have been involved in setting you up. That's betrayal on a different level. And let's not forget, if Kirk really wanted this to happen, he probably had to pay off some people to make sure everything went smoothly. But clearly, something went wrong. Instead of taking Mendeecees out, he survived. And now, Kirk has a massive problem on his hands. Because when a plan falls apart, loose ends start unraveling. And right now, people are saying that someone involved in this might be about to crack. Yep, word is that one of the people in on this plan is feeling the heat and might start talking to save themselves. And if that happens, oh, it's over for Kirk. Because the second one person starts spilling, the whole house of cards comes crashing down. And trust me, Kirk knows it. That's why he's been moving differently, laying low, looking over his shoulder, clearly nervous. Because deep down, he knows the truth is about to come out. And speaking of the truth, let's talk about what Mendeecees is planning next. Best believe he's not just sitting back, waiting for the answers to come to him. No, he's on offense now. Some people say he's already been in contact with officials, trying to get this situation handled legally. That means police reports, tapping phones, secret investigations, everything is on the table. And let's be real, if any solid evidence links Kirk to this, he's done. But then there's another rumor floating around. Some folks believe Mendeecees isn't even thinking about handling this through the legal system. There's talk that he's looking to handle it in the streets instead. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but let's just say if Mendeecees truly believes Kirk tried to take him out, he's not the type to let that go unanswered. And that's exactly why Kirk is probably sweating right now. Because whether it's through the law or the streets, Mendeecees is coming for him. And let's not pretend Kirk doesn't know he messed up. Just a few weeks ago, this man was out here talking big, acting reckless. Now he's moving in silence. He's watching his every move, avoiding certain places, staying away from certain people. And if I had to guess, he's probably sleeping, with one eye open, knowing full well that Mendeecees is on his neck. And when a man like Mendeecees starts hunting for answers, it never ends well for the guilty. So here we are at a crossroads. On one side, we have Kirk trying to cover his tracks, hoping his name stays out of it. On the other, we have Mendeecees, making moves behind the scenes, getting ready to set the record straight. One way or another, the truth is coming. And when it does, oh, you better believe it's going to change everything. But the real question is, what's going to happen when these two finally come face to face? Because let me tell you, that moment is coming. And it's coming soon. And when it does, oh, you already know it's about to be a serious showdown. If you think things are messy now, trust me, you have no idea what's about to unfold next. This story is far from over, and it's only going to get crazier from here. Now let me tell you something about Mendeecees. When he sets his mind on something, he doesn't stop until he gets what he's after. And right now, he's after the truth. The streets are already talking, and everyone knows the situation is nowhere near finished. Kirk might be staying quiet, trying to avoid the heat, but he can run all he wants. The truth always comes out eventually. And let's be real, Kirk isn't built for this kind of pressure. He thought he could play dirty and walk away without consequences, but he seriously underestimated who he was up against. Now he's starting to realize that Mendeecees isn't just going to sit back and let this slide. No, he's out for answers, and he's not stopping until he gets them. And if you thought the leaked messages were bad, just wait until you hear about the latest receipts that just came to light. According to an anonymous source, you know, the kind that always pops up when things start getting real, there's actual footage that might expose everything. That's right. Allegedly, there's surveillance video from a gas station that shows a black SUV following Mendeecees just minutes before the accident. And here's where it gets even more suspicious. People are saying that SUV matches the description of a car Kirk has been seen driving before. If this footage is real, it's game over. Because think about it. What are the chances that Kirk's car just happened to be trailing Mendeecees right before he was run off the road? That's not a coincidence, that's a setup. And this is where things get even wilder. Sources close to Mendeecees are saying that he already has his hands on the footage, and he's planning to use it to expose Kirk once and for all. But here's the thing, Mendeecees isn't just thinking about going public with it. No, he's playing it smart. Kirk still has connections, people who might try to cover this up if it gets too messy. So what's Mendeecees doing? He's making sure this evidence can't just disappear. Word is he's sending copies to key people in the industry, maybe even some media outlets, just to guarantee that once this footage drops, there's no turning back. Once the truth is out, there's no way to erase it. And as if things couldn't get any worse for Kirk, There's something else people are whispering about, something that could completely change everything. Because if these sources are right, Kirk might not just have to worry about street retaliation. He could actually be facing serious legal trouble too. That's right. Some folks are saying Mendeecees' legal team is already preparing to take action. And if Kirk gets officially linked to this setup, we're talking about some real heavy charges, and let's be honest, Kirk isn't exactly known for having a clean record. His name has already been tied to some shady dealings in the past, and if law enforcement even gets a hint of evidence linking him to this, they'll start digging. And when they start digging, that's when all the old skeletons start tumbling out of the closet. And trust me, Kirk has a lot of skeletons. But let's step back for a second. While Kirk is out here scrambling to protect himself, there's something else going on behind the scenes. See, Mendeecees isn't just focused on getting justice for himself. He's also trying to figure out who else was involved. Because let's not forget, there's been talk that Kirk didn't do this alone. And Mendeecees knows this. He knows that someone helped set this up, and he's determined to find out who. That's why people are saying he's been having some very interesting meetings lately. Word is he's been sitting down with some unexpected people who might have information about what really went down that night. And this is where things take another wild turn. Some folks are saying that one of Kirk's closest allies might actually be the one to turn on him. Now, we don't have a name yet, but if the rumors are true, somebody in Kirk's own circle is already talking. And once that starts, it's over. Because let's be real, when people start realizing they could be dragged down with him, loyalty flies right out the window. If Kirk really had help pulling this off, at least one of them is going to flip to save themselves. It's only a matter of time. But here's the biggest question of all. What happens when Mendeecees and Kirk finally come face to face? Because let me tell you something. Kirk can try to hide all he wants, but he can't run forever. At some point, these two are going to have to confront each other. And when that happens, it's going to be explosive. Because this isn't just about revenge anymore. This is about setting the record straight. This is about exposing a liar. This is about making sure everyone knows the truth. And when the truth finally does come out, someone's career, reputation, and maybe even their freedom will be on the line. There's no way around it. So now we have to ask, was Kirk really behind this? Or is Mendeecees just seeing what he wants to see? Will that leaked footage be the final nail in the coffin? And most importantly, what's Mendeecees' next move? Because if there's one thing we know for sure, this story is far from over. So, there you have it, folks. One of the craziest situations playing out right in front of us. But now we've got to ask the real questions. Is Kirk really guilty? Or is Mendeecees just putting the pieces together in a way that fits his narrative? Will the leaked footage finally expose Kirk once and for all? And if Mendeecees is out for revenge, how far is he really willing to go? Y'all already know, this isn't over, not even close. So what do you think happens next? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know you've got some theories. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button if you're just as shocked as we are. Because trust me, this story is only getting started.